The theme of today's message is a God of second chances. The story of the weeds and the wheat that Jesus told would have been a very familiar agricultural image of the people of Palestine. They knew that the wheat and the weeds at the early stages looked exactly alike, and you couldn't tell one from the other, and you had to let them both grow until harvest time and then separate them. Jesus used this image to teach us about God's patience, that God is patient with us, a God of second chances when we need it. We've all needed second chances at some time in our life. A God who is lenient, a God who has clemency, and a God who gives us time to grow. Pope Francis says, saints don't just drop down from the sky fully made. We become saints, we grow, we gradually grow in holiness. And so God is a patient God. And that image also tells us something about our church. The church is not for the perfect. The church of Jesus is for sinners. We're all in the process of becoming saints, saints in the making. And in all of our lives there is goodness, the wheat, but there's also struggles and weaknesses, and we experience evil too, the weeds. We might ask the question, wonder if in my life there's more goodness than evil. One time a little girl was asked the question, if all the good people in the world were orange and all the bad people in the world were purple, what color would you be? She said, I'd be striped. I'd be striped. Yeah. So we might ask, well, I wonder if there's more goodness or evil in me. The church actually answered that question. In the Council of Trent in the 16th century, the church said, at the core of every human being, there's more goodness than evil without exception. Isn't that nice to hear? Thank you, church, for making that so clear for us. So we need to be reminded of our goodness and how God has planted the seeds of his goodness and of his love into all of our hearts. And so the church is a mixed bag. A church only of saints might be nice, but it wouldn't be Christ's church, because he came for sinners. He came to save us. He came to seek us out. And so this parable of the weeds and the wheat tell us about our world and the patience of God. There is evil in the world, we know that, and it can destroy lives. We are aware of that. But grace also has power. Where sin abounds, grace abounds more abundantly. And it too is present and growing in our lives. So in acts of goodness that we witness, that should encourage us in our own lives. Despite the weeds, in every generation, in every parish, there is still a harvest of people who want to know God, love God, and serve God in the world. So do not be distracted by the weeds, that we forget about the wheat among us, the Christian harvest, which is the sign of Christ's final triumph. We know in the end, goodness wins, love triumphs, light conquers. The wheat, the goodness within us and in our world, gives us assurance that there'll be a rich harvest in the kingdom of God. Let us give praise and thanks today for a patient God, a God who gives us time to grow and to be changed and to be transformed. Yes, a God of second chances.